Couldn't do that.
Yeah, I was in India.
Hello. Hey y'all. How y'all doing? Yeah, seven and maybe save. And we're gonna talk about our friends real quick and then get into a really interesting.
And it's live.
So our first sponsor is Tamia Anderson of Tamia's Touch of Care. We are so grateful for her. She is gonna come up here and give Ron a massage next week live. So I look forward to being in the room to hear him really scream, "Touch my body." But if you want to get with life, get a massage, call Tamia Anderson, 409-392-3621, or visit TamiaAnderson.com. So for nearly 13 years, Toiletries for Families has been supporting the community by way of restoring dignity, providing hygiene items to those affected by poverty and disaster, reaching over 60,000 families in 29 countries and 9 states with the sole support of community by way of the founder's gifts. We're now looking for support. So you can donate to our Dignity on a Dime campaign and help us help more by visiting one of the things on the screen or by volunteering your time. And yes, it's hot this summer, y'all. You can definitely volunteer from home. Just visit the website, send an email, or ask directly, hit up the Daily Smoke, and we'll let you know exactly how to be more supportive of this organization. The Arts Advocate advocates the culmination and cultivation of creativity, utilizing art therapy for those affected by grief and trauma. And we are currently doing some research on cognitive stimulation for those affected by autism and Alzheimer's. So if by chance you're interested in getting involved, this is definitely a nonprofit that you're definitely going to be benefited from, but also know that art is accessible to you. So we have an open mic 7 days a week, and though May is ending, your mental wellness is vital, and the sustenance of it is very important to me. And so know that anything we do with Long Live the Arts campaign or the Arts Advocate, you're always welcome. Now, as I tell y'all every week, you cannot afford not to invest in your self-care. So our sponsor, Marius Tiffany, wants to just guide you into a deep breath. We're going to begin on set, and I encourage you to follow. We inhale 6 times, in for 3, out for 7. 1, 2, 3. Take a deep breath in. And slowly exhale. Take a deep breath in. And slowly exhale. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale. Take a deep breath in. Slowly exhale. Take a deep breath in. And slowly exhale. Take a deep breath in. And slowly exhale. This 1-minute exercise helps to lower your blood pressure, ease your anxiety, settle nerves, replenish comfort, and get you to a place to really embrace what you're about to experience. If you want to support us as we continue growing this production, expanding our reach to more people on this podcast, please consider donating to Daily Smoke. You can go to Cash App, $TV Smoke, and support. Your love expounds our ability to spread love. So thank you so much for your support. We are grateful that you're here tuning in. Like this video, share this video, and please follow in. We live. All right. So because art comes first. Last night, back it up. In October, I went to a restaurant in Houston, Sugarland rather, who was hosting the Best Little Poetry Town poetry show with Black Snow and the team from Snow Industries. And I had a feature. It was really fun. My friend Miss Honey and her wife Tip came to support. A couple that I married, Leroy and Noah Stevens, came out. And I went the second time, and I hear this woman, this boisterous woman reading from a book. And before she gets down, she was like, well, I only have one book for sale if anybody wants it. And here comes this line of people. Shit, I was like, fuck that. I'm going to buy the book. And I gave her the money, and I said, give it to me and write it to the word petition. And so she did. Let me see this paperback. This one. No, that's this one. I have the hardback of White Sheets by Mavis Shea. It would behoove you to get involved and get this book. But about 2 weeks ago, I get a text message about her third book. Now, I don't know how I missed the second announcement, but last night, I got to hold this book in my hand, and she was like, "Yeah, just thumb through it and read something." I was like, "Okay, let's see how this goes." I'm going to ask my friend Seven to pick a page. All right, read it. Out loud. Live.
Story play bunker call. Oh, okay.
Another page.
Another page. I'm sorry, y'all. Another
We
page.
can't shorten it, y'all. We can't shorten it.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see.
Oh, this one's good. I read it yesterday.
Put on that glove.
Oh!
One of their.
I will impel myself onto your love.
I will impel myself.
Oh, hold on
I'm
now.
sorry.
Shit, she gonna read
Okay,
it.
well, you
Come
gonna
on.
have to. You read it with
Oh,
that.
no.
You read it with that. Then.
Show us.
Yeah.
Grown ass woman.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I read it all up to you.
Put on that glove.
Okay.
There it is. I will impel myself unto your love. I will rise as gentle as a dove. Don't rush, young man. I can see you are an amateur. Let a real woman show you how to mature. Put on that glove. I will impel myself upon your love. I will lube you with the big blue feather. It helps your balls stop to flow better. Slow down. Don't move too fast. Let's make the moment last. Put on the glove. I will tell myself upon your love. I will rise and fall. As gentle as a dove. Babies are not disposable. Rubber guard. Put on the glove. Oh, it takes so much off.
Does it now?
Yes.
Well, Mavis Shea, you deserve to come, sweetheart. Come to the People's Podcast. This is the Daily Smoke, and we're on Taboo Tuesday.
Like it?
Yeah.
I like the way you read it.
I like
That's
I think that like it's a little different.
It is different.
Help get off that stress and strain.
Yeah. Okay.
Stress relief. Because your sexual wellness is definitely something you should be investing in effectively.
It's for pleasure and not necessarily for labor.
Now what?
Relationships are for fun and gain. Labor is the damnation in your heart. You can either have fun or you can have labor. It's got to be good or bad.
No balance?
Well, it kind of balance you out in the end when you're trying to. It kind of balance you out in the end when you're trying to.
Well, that's the whole point of the coming to the conclusion, like the climax, and then
The end.
yeah,
The end.
there isn't.
Okay.
But moving forward, I'm sitting at Papado's last night. Didn't even know there was one located in where were we? Stafford. This lady passed me this book, y'all, and told me to pick a page. So I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God, you is nasty as hell. Then, about an hour into the conversation, I'm just comfortable talking to this young, vibrant woman who is sexually open. And then I find out that she has been here a little bit longer than I have. I don't even feel bad because I don't think that she's my elder. I more so think that she is well-rounded, completely seasoned, and sophisticated enough to document what the fuck you need to be doing to enjoy yourself. And I'm just saying, we here. We can breathe. We need to enjoy our experience. And regardless of the walk that you take, regardless of the way that you believe, I truly believe we're supposed to enjoy our experience. Now, if your pleasure and enjoyment causes calamity on other people, we're not necessarily going to agree on everything, and I'm not too much concerned with that conversation. But for those who walk a walk of service, I have a lot of respect for it. This is 7, y'all. Woo, 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 woo. So I heard about 7 before I met 7. And as with any other bout of gossip or hearsay or, as you call it, bullshit, I don't really take to what people say about people when I don't feel it in my spirit. And from the very instant, I mean, I saw this woman walking outside the building, and you could feel her aura from literally the pain's distance. And then the first time I got ready to talk to her, I was advised to Google her. I promise you, like, if I say, come on my show, sit on this couch and talk to me, Google me, bitch. I want you to know exactly what I've done, what I'm doing, and where I'm going, because if nothing more, maybe you can help me get it faster. But when I Googled 7, I only found one thing. I mean, nothing. And I was just like, why in the fuck would someone tell me to look this up? You know, try to taint my perception of my first impression of someone. That's just shitty as fuck. But it didn't work. From the very first time I met this woman and we sat down and had a conversation, I knew for life, whatever she does, I want to support. And I told her last summer, like, yo, you got to come on my podcast. I had barely got my own show. But I knew I was going to get to a place where I'd be comfortable to say this to your face. Like, y'all need to know her. Y'all need to know her. And I'm so excited to let her flow with me because I don't really do interviews. Not here. Here is the People's Podcast. We have a good time. But I think it's really important to break the ice on understanding. If you base your knowledge on what people tell you, you are a fool. Period. If you base your understanding of how to embrace people based off things that you have seen on TV, social media, or hearsay, you're stupid. This is an opportunity for you to have light shed upon the fact that some people are actually good. And I believe that there's good in this world, and my naivety might be too much for you, but I know firsthand, whether it's every man on this team, from Brother Black Hand to Brother Ron to Brother Los, Jan, we love you too. And the women behind these cameras, Danessa is a phenomenal, regal woman. LaDonna is a powerhouse presence. And I'm the motherfucker who's going to tell you what it is and do whatever I can to help you feel like you belong here because this is our podcast. But y'all, like this one right here, this young, vibrant, resilient woman has literally faced every statistic I have ever heard of. Like being a black woman who carried a baby and almost lost her life. Twice. He'll be 4 months tomorrow. I'm so excited, y'all. Hey, Jadori, your mama on TV again for something good. When you were a little girl, 7, did you think about your future?
No, not at all. Like, I know that when I was a little girl, I really didn't know what was going to come to me in life. Like, I was just going with the flow. Okay. It is what it is. Yeah.
And at what point did you feel like it was time to focus on what you want?
I want to say that was when, like, I was, like, around, like, 21. Okay. That's when I felt like I needed to focus on what I want to do, the aspects of life, and, like, what I need to do to get there.
What are you doing?
Well, right now, I am going to school to be a doctor right now in acupuncture and Oreo medicine.
She want to poke folks.
Yeah. On top of that, I have a nonprofit organization called People Aboard, Able Respect. And I did bring you a T-shirt.
I got a gift.
A T-shirt.
I got a gift.
So
my first gift.
You can rep my organization. You know. So yeah.
Oh, your Annie on here. Annie. Did you get your shirt? I got one.
Yeah.
I love this. What does this mean to you?
It means a lot. Like, I don't know. Like, it means a very lot. It's a different aspect. Like, I've been through a lot in my life. I've seen a lot in my life. I was forced to grow up fast. And it's just like that really means a lot. Like me to be able to have my own organization and try to get back to the Black community and try to help the Black community to better themselves. So yeah.
So would you say perhaps that, like, from your experience, the lived experience of the Black community when working for other people is not as great as finding their way to work for themselves?
Man, that's straight bullshit. Like when I mean like working for other people, like as I can say, as since we've been in America, all we know is work for other people. That's all we know is work for other people. I don't think that we have the right role models to guide us in the direction on how to work for ourselves and how to go out and get it our own. Like I feel like that's something we have to figure out as African American people, as Black people. Like no, but there really is never like a guidebook to be like, hey, you got to do this to make it there. Like that's just like not a guidebook in life. Period. Like we all just trying to figure it out. We're winging it every day. You know.
Right.
So yeah.
So I know for me, I was raised by a single mother, and though I know my father and my stepfather is an amazing man, the bulk of my upbringing was me and my mother, and I was raised on 3 I's: integrity, income, and insurance. And so I have only worked for 10 years. Because when I was in college, the semester before I graduated, I was attacked by a police officer on campus because my car fit the description of a robbery. And even though I was a very well-known student athlete, he didn't care. And more so, he didn't care because I was also the president of GLASS, which was gay, lesbian, and straight students. It had started off being Gay and Lesbian African American Student Society, where we advocated for our community to have a safe space at all times. Shout out to Augie Kahee because she started it. Well, anyway, from that experience, I've seen how having insurance is beneficial, right? You know, because had I not had insurance at that time, I would not have had the surgery I needed without going through loops trying to sue that school for my attack. This man literally threw me against the brick wall, jumped on top of me in the car, sexually assaulted me, and like I couldn't do anything about it. And to be in public around people, it was humiliating. But at the same instant, I'm just like, for people who have experienced things that no one knows and they carry and harbor these pains, like I have been advocating self-care for so long and really, really supporting mental wellness. But there are so many people that I'm just going to go ahead and say that they're burned out because of the piss poor service that's being provided to individuals seeking mental wellness support. However, would you agree not working for a company has been less stressful for you?
Yeah.
More healthy for you?
Absolutely.
You know, and so a lot of times people talk about that leap. I know I interviewed Tamia Anderson, you know, asking her about her leap because while she's actively serving the country in the military, she full-time massages bodies. And she talked about, I think, the fear that she had to face and overcome to embrace her business, as I've heard from many of my friends. But for me, I was just never in a position where I felt like I was going to leave my income and my insurance and go see if this was going to go. However, being in a position where I'm not stressed out, not being harassed, not being discriminated against, not being told to do something, switch that up, and make my mind go in loopholes like I'm scrambled eggs, I sleep better.
Yeah.
Right? I sleep better. I eat better. I feel better. My self-care is maintained in a healthy way, and I have time to serve my community, to be on the board of organizations I support. Yo, I get to go to Arizona next month to go do a pros and cons workshop with girls who live in a detention center. And in July, I get to go to Florida to do a hygiene restoration of dignity for some kids that are going to do a basketball camp. And for me, I'm just grateful because I'm literally living the life I wrote years ago. And I'm telling y'all, you know, spoken word is a manifestation. What you write, what you speak, you will see. But it's nice to be around people who know how important it is to document, how important it is to have a playbook, you know, to have something where you can enjoy yourself and not be apologetic about how you enjoy life. Like, you deserve to come if you're old enough. And if you have the mental capacity. Because, you know, a lot of times, you know, I think parents forget they were kids with hormones and don't even want to identify with the fact that their children are getting to a point of exploration or curiosity. And there's so many scrutinizing comments being made about all of our youth. The ones who are wanting to transition, the ones who are in transition of emotions, the ones who are in transition of new homes or situations, and there's no support place for them to just get on the mic and speak up. I invite you, go to thedailysmoke.com, ask to be on the show. We're 7 p.m. 5 days a week. There is a platform for you to speak your mind, just as Ron says, be sure you can back it up. I'm not going to welcome anybody on here to talk shit, be disruptive, or not carry out the consequences of the powerful tongues that we speak with. But I also know that a lot of times people who have not gone to therapy, who have not gone to effective and productive therapeutic routes, harbor the bruises, the contusions, and all of the ailments that they've been faced with, and they have yet to heal. Letting go does not mean you no longer value or carry the weight of the burden that was brought to you or the experience. Letting go means you just let it flow and you open yourself, right? Like there's these physical exercises of being open to receive and give love, being open to receive and give trust, all the way to forgiveness. Like there's a way. But a lot of times people are so judgmental. You know what I mean? Like the audacity. You think people don't deserve respect? I don't understand that. I saw this video on social media, and this guy was talking about how individuals want to always question God. I'm a believer, right? Unapologetic. But they'll question God like, oh, why do bad things happen? Because people do bad things. I mean, we keep speaking against the process of positivity. And I have found the difference in our walks don't much differ in the sense of our progression. You know, we have different walks of faith, right? But we both have peace. We both have respect, and we both care about each other and what we do in this community. Same. I don't know what your faith walk has been, peace, but you have peace, right? And when anybody knows the power of upholding their peace, keeping it within their reach, I'd be damned if you try to get in front of me. I'd be damned if you try to breach it. And so that defense mechanism steps in. But I want to see if we can like finagle our way to an understanding of perspective. So do y'all watch Tyler Perry shows? Sometimes. Yeah. Okay, so I don't really watch TV like that, but if I don't use enough kilowatts at home, I get a really high light bill. So I typically have my TV on mute. But I have been home more doing work from home and looking for a job and trying to figure out how to raise money for my organizations and support from here. And so I started watching The House of Pain, which in itself is not just the pain that we face in family, but the view of a family facing pain, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so there was this episode where a young girl who was not raised in a home with the construct of holding yourself in a proper stature was applying for a scholarship because she could play ball, but she didn't have enough money for the school. And she was completely rejected because she wasn't proper, her etiquette wasn't up to par, and her hair was not black or brown. And so her family had her reassess her, her presentation, had her get a little quick weave that was straight, had her put on some neutral colors, had her sit up, and have better posture because you want to speak their language because you want what they got. Fuck that. You need what I got. My own unapologetic presence, right? Yeah. And so I'm watching this kid talk about how, there was no way you could look at her and say that she didn't deserve the respect. Yeah. The lady on the panel saying, oh, no, and she was depicted as one of the black women who had forgotten that she was black. That was the narrative of her identity, right? And she's assuming that this child is on drugs. I mean, just the assumption. And so one of the family members was a recovering addict. And she was like, oh, so you mean to tell me you can just tell somebody been on crack? And she said, yeah, I've watched The Wire, which is typical, typical, stereotypical, bullshit. And so, of course, she tells her, well, I've been on crack. And she was just appalled. And in that moment of breaking that ice and identifying I'm a human, I got to a place where crack was going to suffice for the moment until I found a solution. Because, I understand some shit y'all been faced with. I get it. You can't do it sober. Not on your own. Not till you realize how to breathe, how to center yourself, how to get grounded, how to find some peace, how to come back to you, right? There's no judgment here on the People's Podcast. But anybody in the room open to acknowledging how many hands have been to jail? 2. Lotion ever been to jail? 3, 4. So out of 7 people on this set, 4 have been to jail. What was your experience like?
Well, my adult experience or
Both.
So my childhood experience, me going to jail for the first time, it really wasn't jail, it was like detention center, but it was horrifying. The fact that I'm getting snatched out of my parents' hands, just simply defending myself as a child, as a woman, because somebody was trying to take advantage of me. And me going to jail and my adulthood was leaving from that childhood and being charged as an adult from me being a child.
From the same offense.
From the same offense, yes.
How do you feel you are affected by having gone to jail? Like
emotionally, not really. I feel like it makes me a better person to help me, like, guide me. Like, I feel like that experience that I went through, like, I feel like it made me who I am today. Because if I wouldn't have went through that experience, y'all wouldn't be seeing me right now. I don't know where I would be right now. Yeah. But I feel like as far as held me, when I say held me, I mean as far as in a corporate world. You know, when they do background checks, it automatically pops up. So it stops me from doing a lot of stuff when it comes to corporate stuff. When it comes to me doing things on my own, I mean, I can do whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm a jack of all trades. So it is what it is. But as far as a different standpoint, like, there's certain jobs I can't do. There's certain people I can't work with. Like, I applied to have a franchise of a cleaning commercial business. When he checked my background check, he just instantly didn't want to deal with me.
You know, I've seen applications where they'll ask, if you've been convicted, please explain. As though, you know, maybe when I was 17, I got tried as an adult for stealing checks, but I was trying to pay my mama's light bill. Great. The fact that you defended yourself, you were 15?
It was 3 days after my 15th birthday. So, yeah.
15 years old. I don't know if y'all remember how intellectual you were at 15, but how powerful you were not as a child. And so, with your frame, I doubt you were any bigger than you are.
Nah. I was like
16 years ago, right?
I was like 123 pounds. Yeah.
Were you offered therapy, or did you have to pursue that on your
own? Well, see, I think what part of it makes me, like, heal from it is because when I was 9, I was molested. So my parents, being the great parents that they are, they took me through counseling and gave me a way to talk about it and speak about it. So when it comes to that aspect, I've healed from it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So when it came to this point, so I was 15 years old when everything happened, and I instantly went to juvenile. When I went to juvenile, like, they isolated me in a room by myself for a whole year because they didn't know how to deal with me, being that I defended myself and took somebody's life. So, like, in other words, like, I've healed from it, but it's just like, when it comes to that, like, that's not the way you treat a child, especially going through that.
You were a victim.
It still affects me to this day, and, like, sometimes it affects me, some things trigger me, but I still find them healthy coping skills as far as mental health to go through it and talk to somebody about it and be like, hey, this is what I've been through. Can you help me? I need coping skills for this situation. And then, like, that's what it is. I mean, I feel like as far as the African American, when it comes to mental health, I feel like we are not strong enough. I feel like we are one of them cultures and races be like, if you're going through something mentally, just talk about that behind closed doors. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We are not
tell nobody.
Yeah, don't tell nobody. Like, you hearing voices, keep that inside. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's not more of a open thing when it comes to this. And I feel like that's something we really do. Yeah,
Taboo Tuesday.
Yeah, you know, I feel like that's something that we really need to voice and help our young people. I mean, I know a lot of young people that's like 18, 19 going through a lot of stuff just based on stuff that they're looking on social media. They getting depressed, they getting anxiety, they getting all types of stuff. Like, we have no positive role models in this day and age to be able to help the young people.
That's why we're here.
That's why we're here.
We are the voices for the people. Yeah. Miss May, you have children? You have 2 boys, right? You have grandbabies?
Grandbabies.
You have grandsons or granddaughters or both?
Both, I think.
Both?
Okay. No, I like to let my children go and be on their own and grown. I believe they have to stand. I know I'm sitting here listening to you, and my heart pours out to you, baby. Our time of growing up was different, but the same.
Yeah.
to be a strong black woman in this time takes a lot of intelligence, a lot of strength, determination. Oh my God. I keep it up. I'm proud of you guys. I'm very proud of you. It's hard to go through. Mental health is no joke.
Yeah.
Mental health is no joke.
So, as a mother and a grandmother, what do you feel are vital parts that you can leave your legacy for their sustenance, their well-being?
To teach them how to stand on their own, not depend on anybody, not to be that pawn that somebody moves around for their benefit and their profit. And they've learned that. They've learned it. They're very successful, and I got a mother's blessing.
You got to speak up, mother.
I got a mother's blessing.
I love it. You know, a lot of times I feel like most ways that we communicate are very like surface. Like, you know, when you get to know people, when you first encounter them, like this morning. So I was a guinea pig this morning. I got to help my friend pass her exam to become a phlebotomist on her journey of medical professional, you know, path. And so I got poked 3 times. I wasn't scared at all. You know, and this one student, her granny was letting her poke her, and I mean, she was letting her poke her for real, like, over and over again. I'm just like, that's impatience only a grandmother could give, right?
Wow.
But yeah, like you can't even tell. I'm just like,
that's a good friend.
but she did.
Yeah, that's what I said. My friend loved me.
Yeah, she gave a blood to you like Chris.
Yeah,
that's good support.
Yeah,
we never break the surface with strangers, right? Yeah. And I want to get to a place to where when you at the grocery store, for instance, I went to the grocery store one day and I thought this lady's outfit, like the whole ensemble, head to toe, she looked like Curious George to me. She had on some corduroy pants, a cute little yellow hat. I mean, it was fly though. I ain't being funny. She was cute. And I said something. I was like, you really took your time today. Like, I like it. And we ended up, she's hugging me. She's in tears because she felt seen. Most times people go to the grocery store to feel. Man, COVID kicked my ass. I am social only in the sense of being around people. I'm not sociable. I don't go outside, and I'm not going to be at like places where you go every week that you don't invite me to. But I'm definitely, I need to be around people. I need to see faces, you know. And so the entire pandemic, I was at HEB 3-4 days a week. My girlfriend at the time was just like, I mean, what the fuck? Yeah. But at least the food stayed fresh. Because I can't stand going shopping on Sunday and then by Thursday the spinach is wilted, you know? Yeah. And at HEB, I mean, like, it just always feels better to go because everything is better. Like, man, I have had so many heartfelt conversations at this parking lot. But the lady, you know, she had been having a hard time, not feeling so great, and just dressing up, looking cute, going to the store. It was amazing. And I feel like, if anything, this is the opportunity that we allow ourselves to realize where we invest ourselves, what we mention on the podcast, because ATB, I'm coming for you. We got applications to put in for community partnership with y'all. And be looking for it, because power is going to apply. The Arts Advocate is going to apply, and so will Total Teacher Families. And y'all be in agreement that Traveling Graces for Ron as he goes home because he came here from work tonight. That's dedication. This podcast has a team of courageous, committed individuals who face their own health issues, their own familial, you know, responsibilities, you know, our own hardships. And each of us have been here. Like, I got sick in October and I had to miss months of being here. And I'm still being contacted. You know, my bro's looking out for me, reaching out, Vanessa praying with me. She even came over after my 4th surgery. And I'm like, you know, I appreciate my relationships. I have people whose names I don't remember when I see their face. But there's this presence of love and appreciation. And even though I don't have dementia, I do have previous head traumas and, you know, health issues that have affected my memory. And so that has really pushed me forward in wanting to move forward with my nonprofit and show how cognitive stimulation can enhance the mind's ability to maintain itself and slow down the progression of dementia and memory loss. And so, you know, when it comes to Long Live the Arts, I'm just like, shit, I watched The Notebook 20 times. She always came back, especially when they danced. to the song.
Yeah.
You know, and there's something about when you put things to the core of you, and that's why our hearts of service mean the most. Like, man, I got so much respect for this lady. She almost died, and she called my phone and asked me to pray for her. Now, that's one of the most humbling moments I've had with a peer, right? Like, we just two incredible women working at this place, giving our best and being present and supportive, but like, shit hit the fan, and she asked me to do something that I'm really good at. And just the confirmation of how quick the conversation goes, where she asks me for something, I do it, and then immediately the resolution is right there. It's okay if you don't believe what I believe, but having access to a believer is so vital, because when you know that your life is either going to be sustained by the hardships you face or the grace that you are covered with, I think you'd enjoy life a lot more. You took a few more deep breaths and just took time to really appreciate, because I have no idea what it feels like to make someone stop breathing. I know what it feels like to make you breathe, and how invigorating that is. But I hope that anybody who has ever been quick to make an assumption based off someone's status or experience of being in handcuffs or in prison or being in a position where they had to fight or fly, your fight was worth it. Yeah. And I don't think that there should be any regret or hardship. Now, I get it. You know, that individual had parents or caretakers, family, somebody, you know, could have had a perspective. Understood. Respected. But the concern I have is the relevance, because I know that you are a good thing, right? The way that you are raising your son, you know, hey, Jeremy, I hear about you all the time, bro. Keep it up. Hey, Miss Shirley and Mama, all of y'all. Like, y'all are talked about in such a beautiful way, and that's not even something we do as a community. We don't all sit up here and talk about, you know, our amazing mothers and the great things that we do as people, or how our families support the process of us healing our minds. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't have that support. A lot of people have had your same situation and been completely thrown to the system. Yeah. You know, and it's amazing, because you might not hear this story when you hear about this organization. But I want y'all to know that this organization is run by a woman who don't give up, who does not tire, and who tirelessly gives of herself. And the whole point of digitizing this experience is because I want her to have quality of life. I want her to enjoy not having to be on the ground, sweating, bleeding, and crying out why you should support and give us a big mic, because we on the People's Podcast. Exactly. You know, to be a member of this incredible organization means that you know the power of your tongue. How can we support your organization?
Well, you can go on my website, People Aboard and Able Respect. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I really would appreciate it. Share it. Donate. Do whatever you can. I mean, like, my goal is to reach everybody I can when it comes to police brutality. When it comes to just people need somebody to call and talk to, just a space to just talk or whatever. When it comes to, you know, helping the homeless, helping the veterans, we here. Like, no matter what, like, we always here for the family.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you said that, because I have a friend from TSU who's celebrating his birthday on June 3rd.
Nice.
It's called a Homeless Outreach Street Festival for Sheldon Thurgood's birthday. And from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., we're going to be outside, y'all.
It's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot. Please hydrate. Start hydrating now. But maybe you can have some shirts for sale. You can get some support. Definitely. And you can get acclimated to some people I know here in Houston, because you're not even from here.
No, I'm not.
You know, but your son is a Houstonian.
Yeah.
So you got to stay a little while.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself.
A little bit. Yeah.
But on Saturday, June 3rd, from 10 to 2 at 3307 Austin Street, we will have food, fun, and live entertainment, including yours truly. And I'm just really excited, because the process of living the life I have written and living the life that was been spoken over me. You know, I was told if I couldn't get over my internal conflict working for corporate America, I'd be working for my nonprofit. And now I'm working for a few of them. And I'm just like, thank you, Lord. You know, but I feel like there's just so many opportunities that we have as people to eradicate the personal issues we might have and really see that we don't differ. Like this little boy outside. He might be 7, but he looked like he's 12 because his arms folded. He got an attitude. Somebody ain't playing with him right. And at the same time, I'm grateful to see him. I think it's so purposeful. Like after we've seen all these shows on TV, all these streams on Netflix, all these reasons we should be crying about having sons, like ain't no fear for the door.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Ain't no fear for him because he is going to enjoy life.
Yeah.
You know, and y'all just need to be around people who are gonna speak life over your loved ones because otherwise the damnation comes. And there's no reason to not celebrate the way that we are able to do things. Like I want to shout out to Kim and Paula Lawson, the KP Lawson Foundation. They help LGBT couples build families, and I think that is so helpful, so amazing, honorable. I really appreciate it. I know they know firsthand the experience that they went through as a couple to birth their family of, you know, a beautiful boy and a set of twins like Drake, Sage, and Chase. I think it's really incredible that Honey Phillips, who is one of the newest members of the Montrose Center, also runs this amazing nonprofit called the LGBT Marriage Club. And I'm talking about this because next month we're going to talk about this. You know, we celebrate Houston Pride 365. And I feel like it's so vital that people understand if you limit yourself to being exposed to great folk because you have heard something, you read something, or you thought something that deterred you from being open to experiencing people be people, you should come to Pride this year because it is one moment of a celebration where people are unapologetic and they celebrate not being hosed down by the fire department. They celebrate not being shot at because they hold hands. They celebrate being able. And there have been so many disabilities among our community that when we can come together and have a conversation without apology about the progress of our community as a whole, there can be a lot of gaps bridged, right? And knowing that every time I get a phone call about supporting police, I'm just like, no, I only support HPD because HPD is the only division that I believe is doing what they say. I appreciate HPD. I love Chief Finner. Shout out to Officer Joe. I'm not too sure about anybody else except for Tony. So Officer Tony from the Sheriff's Division, she shows up for events, right? Like, I mean, we've been on panels together. She's always present in community. But one thing I would say, because of the trauma, because of the brutality, because of the things that we have completely been hardened by, we need to figure out how to come together. And you deserve to come. We need to be able to not be fearful, not be expecting, you know, a negative outcome. And at the same time, we're not the only ones traumatized. Like, I be praying for the police. I feel like they have been so traumatized by the ways in which people look at them and run. And it's even worse being a black cop because you get it so many other ways. Yeah. People would like, they'll see you in a uniform, they tense up, like they walk the other way, they feel fear. And I know police officers, and I know how negative that affects them when they're just there to serve. Bad cops, bad people, bad apples, they spoil the experience. True. Yep. But there is a process of communicating your hardships, your experience, your complaints, so they can get removed. Getting on social media, talking shit don't work, baby. Like, it just does not work. Not and it continues to pour into the algorithm, so other people will see us complain and be completely negative. There's a way to enjoy your experience. There's a way to come effectively. There's a way to maintain a healthy relationship. There's a way to have a family. There's a way to enjoy your life. And most times, opening yourself to love, to trust, to respect, to forgiveness, to patience allows you to be in receipt of these things from strangers. And as we progress, as Mabel Shea moves around this city, she's going to be doing interviews, y'all. You're going to see her with me on stages. It's going to be amazing. 71 years is something to at least acknowledge. Don't look like shit on her face, y'all. But your feet have been on souls that I may never touch. And I'm just grateful that you have documented something for us. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing like, oh, I read a book. Shit, I got 3. It's different when you can document a story that's worth uncovering. Yep. You know, I've interviewed individuals who said that they waited till 40. Shout out to my homegirl. Oh my God. Kaya was amazing. Fox 38 on Instagram. She just let out her book, Boudoir, and it has like these recipes on enjoying 40, enjoying your sexy, embracing your body, because a lot of people have been taught, raised, and reared as though you needed to be covered. Yep. right? And you needed to not expose yourself, and not in regard to like, you know, people of faith that cover themselves, but more so you can be naked. You can be completely bare and unapologetic and enjoy your experience. And I want us to get to that place, right? Like, I feel like having this opportunity to talk to somebody who's been here longer than you, right? She my age over your ass.
And I still look good.
Hello, somebody.
Right.
Skin tight.
I know that's right.
Skin tight. Attitude right.
Yeah.
And she likes to come.
Yeah.
It's important if you're old enough. But y'all, like, for real, if I've noticed that some kids bypass the answers and get to these grown folk conversations. Sweetheart, if you are having ideations, if you are thinking about things, if you are wondering what's going on, you don't have to Google it. You don't have to play any meeny miny mo with little friends. You can reach out to a community center. If you don't trust the route, hit up Daily Smoke. Ask for me. I will make sure you get access to a youth support to get you educated, because your parents or caregiver might not be comfortable teaching you about masturbation, hormones, or sexual desires. But I would much rather you enjoy your experience and come when it's time. But you don't want to rush that process. You know what I mean? Like, sex is something that you can enjoy, something that you can paint, something that you can taste. It's not always being naked or impounded. It's more so the intimacy that you experience, the way that you breathe, the comfort that you have. Like, it's too beautiful to let it be fast, painful, and short-lived. Not everybody marries their first. Not everybody keeps their first pregnancy. Not everybody sustains life. But if you are experiencing something, if you have already experienced something and you're pregnant and don't know who to talk to, don't know where to go, please reach out. Like, you know, we have these posts up about suicide prevention. We've been doing it for the whole time we've been in this production. We actually give a fuck. We care about your mind. We care about your well-being. NAMI Greater Houston is an amazing nonprofit here. It's an international organization, but NAMI Greater Houston is here. And you can text 741-741, the word connect, at any time of day, and text how you're feeling. If you are in a place where it's not safe and you need to be restrained, you need to be medicated, you need to be confined, there's a route for that. But most times than ever, you just need someone to talk to. You can reach out to this organization. What's the website?
Power People Enable Respect .org.
People of War Enable Respect. People of War Enable Respect.
We are the voices of others.
Yeah, it'll live. It'll live. And I'll get you on Along with the Arts, because the art of service is important as well. Exactly. Right? We'll have some information on May Bechet. Yeah, make sure you stay tuned. She will have she's got these books and they're available on Amazon. It's always great to buy from Amazon because then you can leave a review, right? Yeah. But we're going to have them available as well for her to vend out. And she's going to be selling and signing and doing some things. So y'all stay tuned on that information. And if there's anything that you want to do, to share, to support, to market, the Daily Smoke is the place to put it, because we are the People's Podcast. We want you to feel supported in this community. We want to know where you're listening from. We want to know what we're doing, what guests you want to know more about. Like, let us know, because we're here for you. We're here for you. This has been a fun production. This has been a really live show. This is actually my first time going live on Taboo Tuesdays, because usually I'm here on a Saturday, taking up all of Los's time, asking so many questions. But I appreciate the patience and the opening of his doors on this good Tuesday evening. We have had fun tonight. I want to make sure that, you know, y'all remember this live chat is available. Hey, Miss Easter, how you doing? Hey, Miss Mary. Like, oh, that's you. Thank you. I think it's really important because, like, you have no idea who's in the room. You have no idea who's in the room. We got a lady in HR. They're hiring. We'll get that information. You know, there's places where you can go if you need an income, if you want to volunteer. But we have veterans on our team that we love and support and appreciate. We have veteran sponsors. We need more sponsors. We need support, because the more that you donate to this organization, we're able to get merch, products, fans, because it's hot and it's about to be real hot this summer. But what's really, really beautiful is how, because of you, we are. So this has been Taboo Tuesdays on the People's Podcast, aka the Daily Smoke. Tune in tomorrow for an amazing show with Brother Los and Brother Ron. And subscribe, share this video. Have a good time. Don't forget $TD Smoke. Bye, y'all.
Woo.